Welcome to Phil's Basement. I'm Matt, and I'm here to tell you about one of my favorite levels in gaming. This time, we take you to Hitman Absolution in the Fight Night level. This level takes place at a brutal underground wrestling event. Growing up, this cliche of underground wrestling, bare-knuckle boxing, or competitive arm wrestling came up so often in movies and video games, I was convinced I would stumble across it. I haven't yet, but it's on my bucket list. Now, I really like this level because, like in most of the levels in Hitman, you can complete it in a few different ways, and as you'll see in this video, one of those ways is actually getting into the ring and doing it right in front of the crowd. Then you just walk out the door. I guess those are underground rules. Also, I'm going to show you how you can make it look like an accident and make sure no one gets hurt, except for the target. And you'll walk out of there keeping your suit perfectly clean. While all that goes on, I'm going to tell you about a few wrestlers that could have used Agent 47's certain set of skills, but instead took matters into their own hands.
Sure, why not? Beat scratching my ass.
First is a man by the name of Jose Gonzalez, or Invader 1. He was one of three in a tag team with Roberto Soto and Danny Rivera. Gonzalez wrestled primarily in the WWC, Puerto Rico's main wrestling promotion. He held the heavyweight championship 12 times, more than any other wrestler ever in the WWC. While he did wrestle in the WWF, his career in Puerto Rico led him to being inducted into the Salón de los Inmortales, which is a hall of fame for luchadors. With such a storied career, it's hard to believe, but on July 16, 1988, Gonzalez murdered Frank Donald Goodish, also known as Bruiser Brody. In the locker room, before one of Bruiser Brody's matches, Gonzalez asked Brody to discuss business in the showers. A fight breaks out and screams loud enough for the entire locker room to hear get the attention of Tony Atlas, who runs to the showers to find Gonzalez with a knife and sees Brody bent over, holding his abdomen. Unfortunately, it took paramedics an hour to get to him due to the crowds outside the showers, and when they did, they weren't strong enough to carry Brody. Atlas helped carry him to the ambulance. In the end, Gonzalez was tried and acquitted after convincing a jury it was in self-defense. Interestingly enough, Tony Atlas never testified to what he saw, and the knife was never recovered. Next on the list is a man named Douglas Baker, or Ox Baker. First off, this guy looks like he could be in a Hitman game with the bald head, ridiculous mustache, and catchphrase, "I love to hurt people." I think he was the basis for Soda Popinski, and if I wasn't out to kill Sanchez in this level, I could imagine someone like Baker to take his place. This guy, much like Agent 47, had a string of accidental deaths taking place in the 70s. Consider, for a moment, his finishing move, the Heart Punch. Nothing really flashy, just a solid strike to the chest that was, apparently, strong enough to stop a man's heart from beating. In 1971, Ox Baker used the move on Alberto Torres, who suffered from a heart condition already. 3 days later, Alberto passed away of a ruptured appendix, though they blamed the Heart Punch to promote Baker's character. Then again, in 1972, during a match against Ray Gunkel, a Heart Punch broke free a blood clot that caused Ray to have a heart attack. He died moments later backstage. Again, this was worked into his character to make Ox seem just like a really, really bad guy. I want to clarify if you didn't realize that Ox Baker's not a murderer. He just had some really bad luck in a time when safety and professional wrestling were on opposite ends of the spectrum. While wrestling, Baker was in many movies, including Escape from New York. He got on The Price is Right as a contestant, and even self-published a cookbook in 2011. Baker passed away October 20th, 2014 of complications from a heart attack.
Hey, you. You stepped into a bad area. You better split. Anything? What's taking the doctor's
Last on the list is the bad guy himself, Scott Hall, or as I like to remember him, Razor Ramon. Hall wrestled in both the WWF and WCW and was most well known for his work in the NWO days where Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hulk Hogan were the hottest things in wrestling. He played the bad guy both on stage and off, and because of that, not only was he oozing with machismo, but also with arrests. Charges for things like assault, disorderly conduct, resisting a police officer, more assault, groping women, and what do all these have in common? He did them while he was drunk, reminding you that alcoholism is a terrible disease. But for all these things he got in trouble for, one thing he did walk away from was an incident in 1983, where outside a nightclub in Orlando, Florida, Scott Hall shot a man to death with his own gun. Details are scarce, but it seems as though during a fight between Scott Hall and his attacker, the man drew a gun. Hall wrestled the gun free and proceeded to shoot the man to death. Scott Hall said it was in self-defense, and the charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. In an interview with ESPN in 2011, Hall admitted to killing the man and said he has struggled in dealing with it ever since. I wish you the best of luck, Razor Ramon. Now, let's get back to some Hitman. What you saw first was how to acquire the keycard and then drop the lighting rig on Sanchez, making him a Jill sandwich. Now you're going to see what happens when Agent 47 gets his hands dirty and brings the fight to Sanchez himself. Stealing the Patriots uniform allows you to walk right into the ring to confront Sanchez mano a mano. Stay tuned after the fight to see what my trainer had to say about my ass and balls in these tights.
Come on, keep your head in the game or you're gonna lose it.
You coming down? Come on down to the fight. No, actually, you know what? Stay home. This place is a fucking pit. It's a pit. Piece of shit, this place. No, but you did great work. Thank you very much. All right, go ahead and invoice me, and we'll take care of it. All right. All right, so...
Hey, handsome.
Don't you
Where did
lose
he
them.
hide those?
Nice out.
Oh man, that guy in the tights set the bait. Oh, he's gonna die.
Yeah, look at those fancy ass tights. Sister. Oh shit, man. Sanchez gonna eat it. Look, we got coming our way. Yeah, look.
On my list is a man named Vern Gagne. I told myself I wasn't going to do this, but decided I'm going to hell anyway, so here we go. Vern was a huge name in the AWA days and went on to be in multiple Hall of Fames. In 2009, while suffering Alzheimer's, Vern got in an altercation with his roommate at the nursing home. Apparently, he picked up and hurled his roommate to the floor, who later died from the injuries. He was charged with homicide, but due to dementia, he lacked the mental capacity to intend harm. Sad as it is, I can only hope to die as glorious a death as being body slammed by a former champion. Oddly enough, at this point, Agent 47 does something almost sacrilegious to both Hitman and Luchadors by taking off his mask, revealing his true identity.
I ain't telling you shit. Look up and down.
I can make it hurt. A lot worse.
The sheriff has a courthouse. But you don't want to throw with him, though. He don't fight clean like me.
I choose my own trouble. You know I can't let you live.
Thanks for checking out the video. Like and subscribe to see more.
Hello. Oh, hey, yeah. No, yeah, you know, you're the wardrobe guy, right? Yeah, no, listen, I'm glad you called. Hey, the Patriot's very pleased with the colors. He loves the colors. You know, yeah. He likes the contrast. Looks good. But hey, let me ask you something. Is it tighter this time than it used to be?
Come
'Cause it
on,
looks to me
stay
to be
with
very
me.
fucking
Kill,
tight.
kill.
No, I think it is. I think it's a lot tighter than it used to be. No, it's kind of, hey, between me and you, I can see his testes. I mean, it's really squeezing. I can see the guy's fucking testes. No, he seems very comfortable with it. He didn't complain. I'm just telling you the way it looks.
He'll rip your
No,
face
but,
apart
I
if you
can
don't
see
keep
his
your head
ass,
in the game.
his cheeks.
But you can do it.
Of course you
if
can
you
see him,
stay
but I
sharp.
can see him more than I
now
have
listen to
saw him
me.
before. I just think it's a little
Punches
weird.
in bunches.
All
Punches
right,
in
you say so.
bunches.
No, the Patriot's very happy.
Don't talk.
Don't worry about
Keep
that.
your
I'm
mouth
just telling
shut
you, I can
and
see fucking
focus.
testes, and it's weirding me out a little bit. All right. Hey, if you say so, you're the expert, right? That's what we pay you for. All right.